Hello and welcome, Sam. Thank you for joining me today.
Okay.
We're going to talk about platinum and how that's helped you move forward in your business. But we want to start with, firstly, how long you've been in platinum and what was life like for you at that moment when you decided to join?
I it wasn't great, I'll have to admit that. I'd been trying very hard to get my business going for well on and off for about 8 months, 9 months. I felt very lost, didn't really know which direction I should be traveling in, which one I should be doing first. I had done some other courses, it had gotten me to a certain point, but I just felt there were lots of things missing in between. I couldn't quite connect it all in my head. I was very new
Yeah.
to it all.
And
Um,
I suppose, like, when you're feeling lost and you've bought the courses and you've done what people have told you to do, and then it's not quite worked. Did you know at that point what was missing, or were you still a bit unclear?
I was still unclear up to a point, for sure, because I kept thinking I'm doing all the stuff, it's not working. But I just kept thinking there was something missing. For me personally, I kept thinking it was a lot to do with my messaging on social media, that I just wasn't seeing any growth. I wasn't getting any traction, any interest, even though I was trying, I don't know, everything I could. I was following all the latest trends. I was following everything I could see, trying to copy people that I had seen before and work it to what I was doing. And just nothing seemed to be getting me anywhere. So,
Like the odds were stacked against you, and how did that affect like your confidence in showing up in your business at that time?
rock bottom, to be honest. I never wanted to quit, but there was a huge part of me that was just thinking this is never going to work. Something has to change drastically, or it's just not going to work. I'm wasting my time. But yeah,
That was quite
I
a
do it.
brave move for you to then reinvest in another program, having tried things before and that not working. Was that scary? Was that a scary concept for you at that moment?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I sort of reached rock bottom in any of my savings. Hadn't been earning for several months, so it was, right. I've got to break this down, try and spread out the cost. It's the only way I could do it.
Mm.
And Yeah, it was really, yeah, it was a big decision. But thankfully, I managed to get someone to help, so I could do something a bit more upfront and pay it in full so I could get as many of the benefits as I could, all the bonuses at the time. But I mean, compared to what I had invested, it was quite a small investment, but it was a stretch for
Yeah.
me at the time.
Yeah. It's
Um,
having that faith, isn't it, on like when do you stop investing? When do you stop buying courses? When do you stop, looking for the next big answer that's going to change everything for you? And I always say to people when I'm having conversations from a sales perspective, that you have to really know what works for you as an individual. You have to really know that, because if you're buying courses and you're still not seeing the progress, is it because you're not someone who likes to dedicate the time to learning and then go implement? Is it that you need that one-to-one support, that guidance from someone who's going to hold you accountable and move you forward? Like, which one is it? Because when you know what's going to work for you, then the investment is less scary, isn't it? Because you know that it's different and you know
yeah,
why it's different. So was that something that was the accountability, the one-to-one calls, was that the biggest driver for you, or was it something else?
yeah, I think it was. I really wanted to speak to someone about my business directly, that I could say, this is why I'm finding this, that, and the others difficult to put into what I'm trying to do, because my business is quite a sensitive issue, and all the sales and the launch for this is how you do this and how you do this. It just wasn't appropriate for what I
Yeah.
was doing.
Didn't quite fit
It didn't
your
quite fit.
audience. Yeah.
It didn't quite fit what I was looking for. So I was really struggling to try and figure out how I could, obviously put a sales, authentic sales as well into it, without it sounding completely genuine. Because that's obviously what I wanted in the first place. But I didn't want to do the hard sales. I didn't want to do, I can fix everything, because that's not what my business is.
Yeah. And
So
did you find that because you must have done your research and had a look around, did you find that that exists anywhere else?
no, there was promise of it, but not to the same level that Entrepreneur City was offering it. It was completely different, completely different. Like the one I'd done previously was like, oh yes, you've got a one-to-one mentor, but it wasn't. There was no accountability in the sense that it was down to me to make the all the appointments and see the availability, and it was such a short snapshot of every single time that I never really felt that I was getting all the information I need to then implement to the next bit. It was, yeah, there wasn't the amount of accountability in it and the extras that we get. It just, those brain aha moments, they were far less.
So on the note of aha moments then, like can you give me an example or a couple of examples of when you've experienced that whilst being in platinum?
Yeah, there's been a few. um, some with you, Tina.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, just some of the mindset work. I think one of the biggest things I hadn't really, I've been looking outward for all of my answers, but there's a strong element of your internal work that you have to do. And I didn't appreciate how much that was. So actually, not just all the practical stuff, but that mindset, getting yourself geared up to tackle all sorts of different things, because it's not just, oh, have a positive mindset. It's this is how you
Yeah.
can work it in this situation and that situation. It's just much more applicable. And that's helped hugely. I've had some with Kyle when we've been doing the social media, particularly when he's looked at the branding, because that's something I've on and off struggled with. And that's been really helpful, even down to the fonts and making sure that fits. That's great. With Fiona and the copy, that's been amazing. That's, she seems to get into your brain and work out what it is you're actually wanting to say and say it. And I've been struggling to say it all the way through. Becky's been amazing. Oh, everyone so far. Kelly, they've all had aha moments with me that I've just thought, oh, that's what it is. That's what I needed
That's
to
the
do.
one. That's the one. And
Yeah,
in 20 minutes, it's crazy, isn't it? How much you can actually cover in 20 minutes.
yeah,
Um, and when we first kind of spoke about the 20 minutes, I was like really struggling to think what could we do in 20 minutes. It's like I'm a talker, you know, I was thinking 20 minutes, like, is that actually going to help? And then the more I started doing the calls, I blew my own mind with how much you can cover in 20 minutes when two people come together, focused, present in that moment to say, right, what are we looking at today?
yeah,
Because sometimes I think when you have coaching calls or you have a coach or a mentor, it's still too broad because it's like, well, what do you want to discuss? Well, I'm trying to build a business. Right. So
mm,
because it becomes really broad. But when you've got a specific expert, if you come into me and it's either mindset or sales, and it's like, right, I've got this issue with my sales, like this is what I need to fix. And then we can just be like, me, you, present. This is one way of doing it. This is another way. Does that feel right? Does that fit you? Okay, let's tweak it. Let's change it. Now go away and do all of these things and let me know how you get on.
yeah,
And immediately you're shifted from one kind of stagnant overthinking place where you've still got all of the other things to do. But when we've got all those other things to do, we don't have enough time to do all of those things. But
no,
broken down, you think about if you had your day broken down into 20-minute slots, then like how much more you would get done if you focused on one thing in 20 minutes throughout the day, and you would see massive progress with that. And that's the thing that I see on the platinum calls is these moments of like clarity that are it's clarity with relief,
yes,
like
yeah, definitely, definitely. I think that's another couple of things actually that you've managed to say, because I think what I found previously was that the one-to-one mentoring was very broad.
Yeah.
And it was hard to pick exactly what you'd speak about that day and then what to focus on and things. My brain was still all over the shop, and there wasn't, like with Platinum, we've got the WhatsApp group and things like that, having that go-to place whenever you needed it, and all that input from the other members and from experts dipping in and out is priceless, to be honest.
I
You've
totally
got
get.
straight away.
Do you know what? I just had a conversation where we were talking about WhatsApp groups, and I know some people are like, I hate WhatsApp groups because they get busy and it's like you're getting constant notifications. But for me, I love them because you can dip in and out whenever you want, and you know that it's there any one time someone's going to reply to you. If you're like, can someone just read this for me? Can someone just check, does this color look okay? Does this stand out? Thinking of doing this, what do you guys think? To get that live feedback is great. But
Mm,
the other thing that I think is really important that gets overlooked is that when you are in there giving the advice,
mm,
like, because you're able to support other people, and how amazing is it when you can offer help and support to somebody else? So not only have you got the reassurance that people are giving you support and advice, but you get to be the person that is also giving that support and advice, which
yeah.
from an energetic level, like, just helps you feel great about what you're doing, which is then going to translate into how you show up in your business every day.
Yeah, as you say, it's that energetics as well, because it has to be both ways,
Yeah.
in business as well. And to have that confidence boost that, yeah, I can help that person, and I do know something, when you're having those moments of doubts is
Yeah, if you haven't got clients regularly and you're in that space where it's a little bit stagnant for a period of time, like knowing that you can still give that support and that offer. Like if I don't have calls booked in my week, then I can easily slip back into feeling lonely and feeling like I'm on my own. Nobody's here to push me. No one's here to give me that support. So for me, having people around me that I can support is essential for me staying well and healthy.
you
So
can always
I've
call me Tina.
oh, thank you so much. Because, well, I think it's a real problem that people might not recognize as a problem, or maybe you do, but you don't know how to fix it. But just knowing that there's other people around you and that you're never really alone, but you do have
Yeah.
to speak up. You do have to, like, nobody's gonna do the message for you. You have to let people know. But having that space of people that you trust and that you grow with and have relationships with, like, allows you to be a bit more vulnerable in that space as well. Like, you're not everyone in there is saying I've got all my ducks in a row and I've got everything figured out. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's like, what am I doing? Is this okay? Like, has
Yeah.
anyone tried this before? I'm thinking about doing that. Has anyone done it before? Is there any pitfalls I should look out for? Like, having that team
Mm,
is
yeah.
really important. Do you feel like if you had to pinpoint the the biggest kind of support area of support, should I say, within Platinum, like what would it be?
Gosh. That's actually quite a hard one. As you say, the WhatsApp is brilliant, because we're all, even though some of us may have been in business longer than others, there's no judgment, there's no nothing. You're just accepted and supported and lifted all the way through. But all of the experts are the same, and that's one thing I love as well. I don't feel like I'm being judged of like, you haven't done that yet, or you haven't thought of this yet. There's none of that. You're so open to any questions. You never feel stupid. I think the whole atmosphere really of that it represents, the whole thing of Platinum is welcoming. This is a journey, we're all on it, we can all help each other. It's almost got that kind of family feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get it. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, how can people find you if they want support? So we've touched on how Platinum's helped you, but what is it that Platinum's helped you do?
It's helped me develop my fertility coaching business from where it was, which was almost non-existent. So yeah, I'm a fertility coach. I also have a CIC, a community interest company. So the community interest company is called the Fertility Nurture Hub, and that is there to support anyone with their mental health, emotional needs. It's purely a support group. There's no cost to it at all. So we chat on social media. We're trying to arrange some in-person events, so we can meet up and just not feel so alone on that journey, which is something that is incredibly lonely and frustrating in itself. So I have that, and I also have, separate to that, a coaching business, which I'm developing at the moment. I can to do some one-to-one coaching and some group coaching for anyone that wants a bit more deeper work and more tailored support to help them through their journey.
But still in that fertility space, but it's more of the one-to-one coaching. But then the CIC is there for everyone who just wants to be connected to other people sharing the same challenges. Okay, amazing. So I suppose to finish off then, what I would ask you is, what would be like one sentence that you could say to yourself like 6 months ago about where you are now, what you've achieved now? Like, what advice would you give to yourself 6 months ago?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one as well. Believe in the process, believe in yourself. Yeah, you've got to believe and trust in what's there to help you along, really. And if you see anyone talk about platinum, go for it.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you for today. I look forward to seeing more of your wonderful coaching and fertility programs coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.